So this is a really interesting psychic ability or intuitive ability that we have. And this one relates to our sense of smell, right? It is a psychic smelling or scent that you will get. Um, if you have not gotten this one before, I'm going to give you some kind of examples and some things of how you might be experiencing this. So one of the first things you want to know is basically like the basic definition of this is you are smelling something that is not actually there in real life, right? That's not actually physically present in that area. And if you're not sure, sometimes I get this once in a while. It's not a common occurrence, but I do get it sometimes. And I will always ask somebody, be like, hey, do you smell that smoke? Or do you smell roses? Or, things like that. And they'll be like, no. And I'm like, okay, that's just me. Thank you. And so that's kind of a way that if you're not sure if that's what you're getting or not, you can get that validation, that check by asking the people around you if they are picking up on the same scent. If they smell the same thing that you smell, unless they're psychic like you, they may not pick up on that same scent. So that's a really good indicator of whether or not you are actually experiencing it or not. So this can occur for different reasons. One of the things too that is interesting about this is that we as human beings are programmed to kind of remember things, and memories are triggered a lot by smell. So if you are getting a particular scent of something, it might be activating a memory that will tell you something about the situation that you are currently in, right? So you can use that as kind of a little help or a guide to help figure out why you're getting that smell. Sometimes too, the smell is a reminder. For me, I smell roses a lot because my grandfather had this really amazing rose garden. The roses were the size of my face. I have never seen anything like it, and the smell was incredible. So when he's thinking about me, because he has passed, I will always smell roses and I'll know it's him. Sometimes I'll get a clairaudient message at the same time as well that is specific to him so that I can identify it. And one of the really interesting things about this too is that I had a friend one time and roses were her favorite scent. And if she was thinking about me or she was in trouble or she was stressed out or something was wrong, I would get one scent of roses for her, but I would have a different scent of roses for my grandfather. So it can be very nuanced sometimes as well. So please note that when you're going through this, especially if they're representing people, there are differentiations. Something else too, it might just be telling you information about the place where you're at. Another example that I thought was really kind of fun for me was that my friend had purchased a vehicle. And unfortunately, he purchased it from the widow of a service member of our country, right, who had passed away in the line of duty. And she just didn't need the car. She didn't know what to do with it. And so she sold it to my friend, who was very grateful and very happy to have it. But whenever we would drive around in this car, there would be a weird scent of coffee. Randomly, at times you wouldn't drink coffee. When all of the windows were open, the car would fill with the scent of like fresh brewed coffee. I mean, you felt like you were sitting like at the local coffee shop and somebody had just put a fresh pot on. I mean, it was pungent. Now, I was intuitive, my friend was not. However, the smell was so strong and it would appear and then like disappear. Like it was the craziest thing. So my friend actually had contacted the woman who he had purchased the car from. And she said, she goes, that's really interesting. She goes, my husband, before he passed, was a huge coffee drinker. Like everyone knew it about him. Like that was his thing. He loved coffee. He drank a ton of coffee. And so from that point on, whenever we were driving in the car, I want to say his name was Joe, if I remember correctly. If we smelled the coffee, we were just like, hey, Joe, how's it going? And we would just say hi to him and acknowledge him. Because he was just trying to let us know that, hey, like I'm still here, I'm hanging out, have some coffee with me, let's ride around, And so I just thought that was just such an interesting, weird coincidence because it wasn't stuck in the car anywhere, it wasn't stuck in any of the seats or the floorboards or anything like that. It was the weirdest thing. But I think that is a really excellent example of this particular psychic ability. So if you are noticing things that are along these lines, this might be something that you have or that you want to develop any further. So if you do, let me know. I'm always here. I'm happy to help. We can set something up. But until next time, I hope that was helpful. And I hope that you guys have an absolutely beautiful day.